Hi everyone, I'm going to be making a pumpkin and lentil soup, which is basically a GLP-1 friendly version. So let's get cooking. So what we're going to need for this is, I don't know, about 2 onions, probably a large and a half. I've actually run out of white onions, so I've just mixed a load of different onions in there. It doesn't really matter. Actually, it makes it look a bit more colourful then, doesn't it? So I'm going to pop them in. I did actually make a video on this and really overcomplicated it, so I've cut the recipe down and the timing, so I wouldn't bore you all to death. So yeah, so like I said, this is a GLP-1 friendly version. Again, you know, I'm not going to be calorie counting on this and how much protein and everything else. The ingredients I'm going to be putting in, you can Google them, and they are very suitable for a GLP-1 friendly diet. So I thought, well, I'll start with a pumpkin theme, as you know, we're coming up to Halloween soon, and I'm sure lots of you have got children and carving the pumpkins and everything else, and don't know what to do with the actual flesh of the pumpkin. So I thought this soup, and I have made it a couple of times through error as well, and error and perfection. And I think I've come up with a nice, simple ingredient solution, which is it's very well. I wouldn't say it's spicy. It's kind of warm. This is more like be more like a kind of an Indian kind of twang to it, with a hint of Thai, because I'm going to be using, like I said, I'm going to be using lime, and I'm going to be using coconut. Yeah, that's what, well, it's basically lentil, coconut, and pumpkin soup. And so anyway, so like I said, I overcomplicated it before. I put loads of different spoonfuls of this, spoonfuls of that. So I'm cutting all the ingredients down to kind of cup sizes and tablespoons. So just cook these onions down a little bit. And I've bought some, well, I've got two actually. I've got like you want to get a curry paste. This one's a tikka masala, but there's also a korma, which is even more milder. But you can get these in your stores. Let me just get that. And you know, if you want a bit of spice, and the only reason why I'm not doing a spicy version is because I don't know about you, but since I've been on Monjaro, spicy food tends to upset my stomach a bit more since being on Monjaro. So I've kind of, if you want to tame this down, just use a korma paste, a mild curry paste, and that's it really. So anyway, I'm gonna put two of them. So that's 2, 1, and 2 of them in there. Like I said, you only need one. Whatever your preference. If you want it mild, stick with a mild curry paste. Again, I'm mixing like a tikka and a korma together, just to give it that little tiny bit of a kick. What you want to do is like mix it through. So, you know, there's not a great deal of ingredients in here. I mean, I could have given you like, this is what we're using and everything else, but to be honest with you, I can't video edit to save my life. This is my first ever YouTube video, so you're going to have to bear with me with my mistakes and everything else. So anyway, so yeah, so they're cooking there, and what we're going to do is we're going to add the pumpkin. It's the pumpkin. Like, chop the pumpkin up however you want, because at the end of the day, you can either have it chunky or blend it. Now, if you're making a soup, Again, I'm blending it, so it doesn't matter what size you cut the onions up, or any of the ingredients for that matter. So, like I said, just mix that up like so. Whack that up a little bit more. Like I said, I've cooked this a few times, and to be honest with you, I've got quite a few batches in the freezer. This will probably feed about four to five people. Like I said, with the pumpkin, I've basically got about 2 handfuls of pumpkin in there. Again, it's your choice, your preference. You know how much you want to throw in. The trouble is with me, I don't know portion control, but I have got better since being on the GLP-1. And again, like I said, I'm not measuring this out as far as calories and protein and this and that, because at the end of the day, I think with a lot of diets as well, it is all about it. It does come down to portion size. So you know, if you just give yourself a reasonable portion of this, then it will be sufficed. So right, so I've got that going. Now, what I've done is I've actually made some. You can put chicken stock in there, but I've actually used. Let me get this out of the box. I found the chicken version. So basically, I've run out of stock cubes now. I told you, it's all about improvisation. Right. So yeah, look, just normal stock cubes. You can buy these in the store. You know, if you get a vegetable one, I mean, I'm using vegetable. This one's a chicken one. Use 2 of these in 300 mils of water, hot water, boiling water, and literally about 300 mils, 2 stock cubes. I'm not using any salt with this. I mean, ideally, you want to use a low sodium stock cube. But again, I'm not putting any extra salt or anything in this. That's it, wrap that up. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I've got some fresh coriander, and I put a little bit of garlic in there too. I didn't want to mix the garlic in with the onions because it tends to burn. So I've just mixed that in. I like fresh coriander. You want about a handful of fresh coriander. Leave that mix. This is actually really, really nice, and it's very filling, really wholesome. Now, what I've got here as well is I've got some red lentils. You don't have to pre-soak these. If you look at the packet, you'll see if it needs pre-soaking. But basically, I just wash these through. They've dried out a bit now. I've got to drain them off, and then just add. It's literally a cup of pumpkin, not pumpkin, a cup of lentils, and it's red lentils. I mean, my favourite soup actually is carrot and red lentil and coriander. It's actually really nice. You know, to be honest with you, I'm not a great lover of squashes like pumpkin, but when you mix them up, when you mix this pumpkin up with, like, say, other ingredients, and it's really nice actually. Okay. Right. So what I've got here now is I've got some coconut milk, which is basically it's a reduced fat one. Yeah, you can get these in any of your stores. So it's literally reduced fat. So like I said, we're not going overboard with fat and all this stuff people tend to be worrying about. But again, this is I can't believe how tasty this is, considering, you know, it's all low fat this, and you know, that took a while for me to get used to being on this GLP-1 journey. You know, get eating actually nice food for a change. You know, so it's getting a nice colour here now. So with this, what you want to do, see, this will take about 25 minutes to cook down. I'll stick it on a medium, well, I'd stick a low heat, I'd say, for about low to medium heat for about 25 minutes. Check in occasionally because you don't want to be burning the pan. And the thing is, with this ingredients and the lentils, it tends to really thicken up. So you don't want to be leaving it on the stove and burning the pan. And also, if you want to just top it up with a little bit of water, you know, please do so. I mean, we're going to blend all this down when it's cooked anyway, you know. So and also what we're going to add now is a cup of yogurt. Now this is Greek, this is literally fat-free yogurt. So can I get it on there? So yeah, look, so this is fat-free yogurt. Again, you ain't got to worry about how fatty it is. Right, so we're going to wallop that in. Like I said, look at it, it's really creaming up lovely. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, you might have to keep adding a little bit of water, you know, or if you want to keep creaming it up, add a real low fat milk, but I just stick with the water. There's enough going on here. Like I said, it's creaming up, lovely, lovely colour. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at it, absolutely divine. Right, so my final ingredients to this, it's because I like a bit of zest. So I'm adding, and by the way, I have seen if there's no seeds in there, which there isn't. So you can actually just squeeze this into squeeze this out first. But I just love, oh, nice good old squeeze. There you go, and that's literally, I've used the whole lime in mine. If you don't like it so zesty, just use half a lime. But I just feel it gives it that nice kind of oh, it's almost like a Thai soup, you know. Thai is for Thailand, by the way. So, and that's it really. You're going to have to, like I said, let this cook for a good 25 to 30 minutes. Like I would go by the tenderness of the pumpkin as well, you know, and then you know it's all cooked through. But again, the lentils will thicken the soup up. You don't need any thickener, nothing. And so basically, that's it. I have made here's one I prepared earlier. So I'm going to literally turn that off. I'm going to put this back on after I finish the video. Right. Again, after about 20 minutes, you want to get your hand blender, and then you want to blend the soup. So blend it all down. It's entirely up to you. If you want to actually leave the ingredients thick, it's entirely up to you. But I've blended it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So just to make it a bit, give it that little bit of a dress up. You want to add some. I have some pumpkin seeds, but you can get these in the supermarket as well. Look, these pumpkin seeds, and this is basically just to jazz it up a little bit on the top. Give that little jazz up. It's not off a jazzle, it's just a jazzle. And there we have it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a dollop, just a little dollop of the Greek yogurt, and then just a little bit of coriander on top. And there we have it, pumpkin and red lentil soup. Yum. Enjoy.